So this might be weird for some people, but I've always loved Jonas Valanciunas. I actually remember Jonas Valanciunas being drafted because it was one of the first. It was the second or third draft I ever watched. And I remember because he was from Lithuania, and to this like date, I still think he's one of the most underrated centers in the league. And tonight he just took advantage of the small Charlotte Hornets. What are your thoughts if you guys agree with me? I mean, this is a guy who's averaged basically 20 and I think like 20 and 12 or 20 and 11 for in his first, like when he was just came over to Memphis, and he's a guy who's averaged like 17 and 12 before. And tonight he just put on a clinic. And the best part is Valanciunas is also a guy who started to take threes, okay? Never took threes in the first like 5 years of his careers, and then he adapted. And I honestly think he is a top 10 center, and you could argue that he might be the fifth best center in the NBA, okay? Because, Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid are obviously then 1 and 2. And then if you put Karl-Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert there, would you put Jonas Valanciunas? What would be your top 5? Like, Valanciunas at least top 10 center. And it's just because his play is always efficient, okay? Very efficient. He'll take open threes, but he'll just put a lot of putbacks and, layups and just shots close to the basket. And not only that, he's a great passer, okay? There was multiple times where tonight it felt like Valanciunas was setting up his teammates all over the floor. And I thought that was just something I've always found really like admirable or admired of his game. And none of his assists led to threes, but a lot of his assists was like one he passed it to CJ McCollum, who ended up hitting a floater, okay, from the left side. And there was others examples where he would just kind of like dump it off to a guy inside, like he'd get a rebound, kind of looked like he's going to do a putback, and then the defense bites and he basically passes it off, and it worked well. And for me, I just think he is just such a high IQ player. He brings out the best. And like Herb Jones has been quiet. He's been used as more of the defensive utility guy for them lately. But the last 2 games, Brandon Ingram just continued to do his thing. Just slicing and dicing. CJ McCollum, point guard. And then Zion. He had a quieter night than in the first game, but still, Zion's looking good, playing the best defense he ever played. He looks super happy. And then off the bench, you had Trey Murphy come in, hit a few shots, not as explosive as his first game. Jose Alvarado had a better game tonight. Devontae Graham, the guard rotation. And I just think it's just Jonas Valanciunas, regardless of who's around him. Could it be Larry Nance, Najee Marshall, okay, Devontae Graham, Jose Alvarado, Trey Murphy, CJ McCollum, Herb Jones, Brandon Ingram, Zion. Regardless of who it is, even Jackson Hayes, he makes it work. Why? Because he's a high-level basketball player. And that's what, professionals do. They come to work and they do their job. And for me, I think this was something that I found really, really I was thoroughly impressed. And this was a team that the Pelicans honestly destroyed the Hornets in the first quarter. And Jonas Valanciunas was a big part of that, okay? He was just eating and feasting on them all game long. And for me, I just think that you just see with this New Orleans team, it's very clear that they are a good squad. And I know the Hornets, they don't have, LaMelo tonight. They went Terry Rozier, Kelly Oubre, Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, Mason Plumlee, and then they had Dennis Smith Jr. off the bench, who, might be making a comeback, okay? I want to hear your thoughts down below on that one. But, yeah, I think it definitely was interesting to say the very least. And what do you expect in the future from Jonas Valanciunas and the rest of the Pelicans? But that's it. Short little videos, nothing else to talk about.